Hello, today we're going to talk about fear because fear can stop you doing so many things in your business. And the reason we feel fear is because of a fantastic little thing called the amygdala in your brain. Now, your amygdala was really useful. It's the reason human beings are alive. It's the thing that warns your body if there's danger and helps you deal with it. So, for example, if a saber-toothed tiger was trying to get to you, your amygdala would do two things. First of all, it would make you aware that there was danger. You may not know where it was coming from or what it was, but it's the thing where your the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, or you just sense someone's watching you. So that's the first part. The second part is once you've identified the danger, your amygdala tells your brain to do something. So whether that's running away, fighting, shouting, whatever. And these two things together are called the fear response. Now, with any luck, there's not too many saber-toothed tigers or similar monsters in your life. So why do we still have the fear response? Well, your amygdala doesn't know that. It's been designed to protect you, so that's exactly what it does. But there's also a second thing it does, and that's to make you anxious. And this is about the perception, whether it's real or just a perception, that something could happen. So this is when you worry about things, or you just have the feeling that something's going to go wrong. A lot of people after the London tube bombings were very anxious about travelling on the tube afterwards. You can understand why, although logically it was very unlikely that anything would happen again, but that's your amygdala again. So your amygdala is responsible for both fear and anxiety. The way you might experience anxiety, for example, perhaps you have to give a talk somewhere and you hate public speaking. Well, what do you get? You get sweaty palms, your heart rate goes up, perhaps you just feel shaky, and that's an anxiety response. So what's this got to do with business? Well, the chances are, as a business owner, you've set up doing this amazing thing that you love, and actually you'd want to spend all of your time doing the bit of it that you love, because otherwise why would you have set it up in the first place? But there's always something that is less comfortable to you, that you don't enjoy so much, and which makes you anxious, perhaps because you're not as good at it, or because you'd rather be spending time on the thing you love. And this is where you can start to feel either anxious, or you can actually feel completely fearful, and it's your amygdala again, and it's not its fault, it just doesn't know that you're not running away from saber-toothed tigers. And if for you sales is the thing that makes you fearful, then your amygdala is turning that into your saber-toothed tiger, literally. And that's why it can be so hard sometimes to do things. You know you should do them, but you don't always do it. So, what can you do practically to stop this fear overwhelming you? Well, one of the problems with fear is that you sort of talk yourself out of doing things. Have you ever thought to yourself, I can't do that thing, I'm not good enough. If I do it, I'll fail. I haven't got enough skills to do that thing. It just won't work. Have you ever done that? I think most of us have done that. And the problem is, if you let that little voice be too loud and be too repetitive, it actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I just can't do it, and you don't even try anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to encourage you to do is step outside of your comfort zone. And there are 3 tips that I can give you with this. Now, the first one is that scientists have proved that in the case of the fear and the anxiety response, you can reduce it by simply doing the thing that you find fearful and doing it again and again. And when your brain learns that there's no adverse risk, nothing bad will happen, and you're not in danger, then it kind of calms down, it switches off, and you become unfearful. You lose that fear. So that's the first thing that you can do. The second thing is you can teach yourself whatever the skills are to do the thing that is scaring you. So, for example, if we look at sales, within this program, I dedicate a huge chunk of it to the actual structure of sales. Sales is something you can learn. It's not something you're innately born with. It's a skill, so you can learn it. And just by knowing what this process is, what the structure is, even if you don't know how to do it yet, it demystifies it. Oh, there's a process. If you do that, then that happens, and so on. So you start to feel more in control. So that's the second thing you can do. Teach yourself what you need to know. And then the third thing is you can start to reinforce positive statements. This will overwhelm that negative little voice that's telling you all the reasons you can't do things. So instead, start to celebrate what you are good at. Start to positively reinforce you. For example, yes, I can do it. I'm really good with money. I'm really good at motivating people. I'm organised. I'll try it. If I'm successful, I get the deal. If I don't, I've learnt something. Whatever I do in this life is part of the overall plan. Nothing is wasted. Now, if you regularly repeat these positive affirmations, and those are just some I came up with, but you can produce your own that are relevant to you. If you can produce some of these positive affirmations every day, and I would suggest you repeat them as often as you can, so write them down, print them on a sheet of paper, stick it somewhere you'll see it all the time. Bathroom toilet's quite a good bathroom toilet. The bathroom mirror is a good place because you go there regularly. Or perhaps in your car, or perhaps on the front door, or you keep it in your wallet, or you keep it on your phone. But regularly read these positive statements to yourself, because if you do it sufficiently, you will overwhelm that little voice. So let's look at it again. What are the 3 strategies? Number 1, just try doing the thing. Do it as often as you can, as frequently as you can, and your brain will learn that nothing bad happens and the fear will go. Number 2, learn about the thing that scares you. So in the case of sales, read the chapter on the sales process so you know what you're dealing with, and then it demystifies it. It takes the fear away. And then thirdly, positive reinforcement. Make sure you're aware what you're good at. You celebrate the fact that you have done really amazing things and that you have the potential to move forward. And if you keep doing those 3 things, then you will find that actually that little old amygdala will slay your saber-toothed tiger. That's probably mixing my metaphors, but you get the idea. The fear will go, and you will move outside your comfort zone into a new place where the fear of sales really, it wasn't there at all. So please give this a try. It's a great exercise to do on those days when perhaps you're feeling like, oh, I've got to make phone calls I don't really want to, or I need to reach out to customers, or I just don't feel like it. And you find yourself making excuses. Do this exercise, take away the fear, and please let me know about the results, because once you start to get results, do you know what? The whole thing's worth it. Take care until next time. Bye-bye.